Got another one?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
I wish you could catch you one like this.
Yeah, bring him up
Get
here.
back,
No,
get
I'm
back.
gonna help you. I'm gonna really help you for real. Come bring him up here. I got a little. Hey, today I'm headed down to Georgia to the Hank Parker Signature Lake. Let me tell you, we have had this lake now for 4 years. It's the first lake that I got to really design from scratch. And we're keeping track on it, see how things are going, how these fish are growing and how they're progressing. And I'm hanging out with one of my very best friends in the entire world. He's my business partner, he's my best friend, my buddy Keith Kelly, and we're gonna check on these fish, see how they're doing. 4 years old now in the Hank Parker Signature Lake down in Georgia. So you stay with me. I think we're gonna catch a big fish or two. It's gonna be fun. That's a big one. Look at this.
You want to picture with him?
Nah, we're gonna catch one bigger. If I'd have caught it, I'd have got a picture of it. Keith ain't in for it. He catches them like that all the time. I'll get a picture of that one though. Double
Double on a couple of little ones.
little one. I got a great old big one. I got a bragging fish. You gonna keep them? You gonna throw them back?
Keep them.
Keep them. We gotta take fish out. Gotta take fish out. Hank Parker Signature Lake, my buddy Keith Kelly. Now we're checking on this lake. It's really our third visit. The lake's just a little over 4 years old, and Keith is the guy that has done everything right. He's really worked hard to put the right forage fish. Here now, here, come in here. Come in.
Fish sure looks like he's spawned out now. I would agree with you.
They are spawned out. People ask me, what should you put in a lake? Let me tell you, put everything you can in there. Can't have too much bait. In the state of Georgia, it's illegal to transport and place tilapia, so we can't do that. If you could, we would. So we have gizzard shad, threadfin shad, fathead menace, several different types of bluegill, and crawfish. So these fish have a variety of bait, and they're constantly feeding. Flirting up there catching one about the size of the one I caught, and I don't like it.
Yeah, good 2-pounder.
Yeah, put him in the box. So when we started out, what I wanted to do, I wanted to fish the Hank Parker Signature spinnerbait. This is the new spinnerbait that has the barb on the outside that you hook the little dental band to, and we offered these on our show, and I thought we could sell a few thousand. This thing has turned into a huge deal, and we can't keep up. So if you haven't got your order yet, please be patient. We're going to get those spinnerbaits out to you. We're hand building them, and we're getting them out pretty quick now. But I'm not going to take any more orders. So this is the new Hank Parker Signature spinnerbait, and it's awesome. So this is the bait that I want to start with.
Yeah, now, be quiet in there.
Also, we want to fish a jig. A jig is a great way to catch a big fish, so I like to fish with a jig. Oh! Gonna make Papa put his jig back on. Gonna make Papa put his jig back on.
Pretty good fish. He done spawned out though.
What's all that little sniggering about?
Huh?
Huh?
I was laughing at my fish.
Yeah, had that little snigger poo. You can catch a big one if you like. Look at this, look right there. I set my rod down to put that, and my spinnerbait's hanging off the side. Look at that. I just set my rod down.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That is the craziest thing. I thought, what in the world am I hung up on out here?
Look, wood ducks going there.
Look right there.
That's a nice one, bro.
Boy, would you catch one like that laying your rod down? Golly.
That's probably the best fishing you got right there.
That
Just lay your
is.
rod.
Hey,
That shows you what you need to do there, see there. You've been catching those, you just need to lay it on side.
I done got over here these old stupid fish you've been catching. Golly, boy.
I see the best fishing tactic for you, just lay your rod down.
Hey, I done got in these stupid fish you catch.
Look at that.
What?
Nothing.
What about?
That ought to get it.
That ain't right. Man, we are smoking. I don't mean we're catching every now and then. We are wearing these fish out. So the pattern is pitching that spinnerbait or throwing that jig out there against those stumps in 5 and 6 foot of water on those breaks. And so as we're fishing along here today, we're just pitching these baits up against these stumps, and we keep working our way out deeper and getting on the break line. Seems like the more defined the break line is, the better the fish are ganged up. Look what a fish. Good gracious, Keith Kelly, if you could catch a fish like that, you'd have him mounted for sure. Look what a fish. We fish with big 10-inch power worms. We were flipping the jigs, we were throwing the spinnerbaits, and then this bait was so new, I didn't even know the name of it. I had grabbed a handful of these in prototype that when Berkeley and David Fritz were designing crankbaits, this was their lipless version called a war pig. And Keith kept saying, what's the name of that bait? And he thought that I'm cutting up with him because I'm not telling him the name of it. So this is a war pig. So we're catching fish in a variety of ways and having a ball.
Berkeley makes that lure.
Yes, that's a brand new series. Berkeley's got a whole brand new series of hard bait.
Thing when he hit the water for it, tearing it up. Look at that fish. Look at there, look at there. I got two on the line.
These fish are so incredibly aggressive, but we missed the spawn. Down around the gills, you got to take your time. I really wanted to catch some of these fish when they were full of eggs and see if we couldn't catch a 12 or 13 pounder.
Hello, Jennifer.
But we're late. These fish are spawned out.
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
I love when you get on the phone right about the time. We're coming up on this rock pile. Why don't you call Jennifer back?
I'd let you get the little one out of the way so I can go and catch that big one.
Yeah, go ahead and call Jennifer back right quick.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild. Now it's time for Hank's Tip of the Day.
You know, one thing that's really, really, really important when you're fishing in general, whether you're on a public lake or a private lake, but when you're pitching stumps and you're fishing structure, a lot of people say, well, I like to finesse fish. I like to fish with light line. Put your spinning rod, guys. Put your spinning rod and you shake your head. Put that in the boat and leave it in the boat. Fantastic way to catch fish on ledges and breaks and open water. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you're pitching this bait in there and you got these big giant fish up there against those stumps and there's another stump, you need to be able to manhandle that fish. So you need a rod with good, strong backbone, something that ain't gonna bend in a knot. You can move that fish and move him right now and control him. So when you set the hook on that fish, it is really, really important to stay in control. I have people that I watch them and they set the hook so hard they get out of position, and then for a minute they're fighting to catch up, and then that fish has already got leverage on them and they're out of control. I like a good control hook set, stay in control, and get that fish under control and out away from that stump or that brush or that log, and keep him away from the next one. And you got to have a rod with some backbone, and we're fishing 17 and 20 and 25 pound line today, even throwing some braid 60 pound, in order to keep those fish under control and not let them get us wrapped up and get us around that stump. And one thing that I don't want to do when I've got a lake that I'm trying to take care of, I don't want to overstress my fish by fighting them too long, and I don't want to break hooks off in their mouth. And I certainly don't want to get them wrapped up on a stump and break monofilament off in the lake. I don't want to do that. So I want to be able to be efficient and handle those fish and get them out away from that structure and be in control. So you need the equipment to do that. I got some swim jigs, I'm telling you. They're biting that swim jig too. Good in there, buddy. That's a good.
Here's some fish right here.
Good. Look here, we're just catching these fish over and over and over and over and over and catching them, catching them, catching them, catching them. Let me tell you the secret to what we got here. Keith Kelly, when he built this lake, he built it for irrigation. That's the #1 reason this lake is here. He's got all kind of row crop, so he needed irrigation. I said, when you're building this thing, let's make it a bass lake. It ain't gonna cost you nothing extra. You're gonna build it. So let's put some rock piles in it. Let's leave some stumps and timber, and let's fill it full of all kind of forage fish. He said, I'm in, tell me what to do. We did, and the whole key of making this thing as productive and making these fish as aggressive is have a variety of bait, and he's the king. If you can make it better, let's make it better. So let's put in threadfin, let's put in gizzard. We'd put in tilapia if it was legal. It's illegal in Georgia, you can't do that. If we could, we'd have tilapia.
We have been putting in crawfish.
Crawfish, threadfin, what other kind of?
Well, we've been running brim feeders year round, except during the dead of winter. We run 6 brim feeders on it, which
Feed
produces a
the
lot of
high
good
protein
brim.
to the brim.
Yep.
That's a big deal. Crawfish, I like that. Not many people go to that expense and trouble of putting crawfish, but it pays huge dividend. And when these fish have a variety of bait fish, they're aggressive. You didn't throw over in my spot, did you? Hey.
12 pounder coming up.
You didn't throw in my spot, did you? Why would you do that?
Because you wouldn't catch him, so I figured I better come on in and do it.
Pretty ugly.
You know, some guys got to catch the little ones and some guys got to catch them there.
Hey, Keith's a little bit ahead, but I'm gonna catch up with him. You wait and see.
Awesome lure.
It ain't often I catch a 4.5 pound bass I'm ashamed of. That's a good one there, buddy.
What'd he weigh? 8,
Yeah, he's thin.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
Hank Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. And by Minn Kota. Soft Science. Solar Bat. And Talon.
Ooh, Hank, I got a nice. Oh!
Yeah, 2 pounder.
Look at that, I got another fish.
You know, I have people tell me, boy, I got this 40-acre lake or this 50-acre lake and it's 30 years old and has never been fished. Well, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's the biggest mistake you can make with a lake. You've got to harvest a lake. A pasture can't provide enough grass for an unlimited amount of cows, nor can a lake have enough plankton, bait fish, and forage to provide for a countless number of fish. You have got to harvest, and I can't make that as clear as it needs to be. And people say to me, well, hey, ever fish in here? We don't hardly ever catch one under 5, then take them out when they weigh 5. You can't have 10,000 5-pounders. If you want 10 pounders, then you've got to keep the fish thinned out. And that is one thing that you're looking at today as we're catching all these fish and how healthy they are. We got to take a lot of fish out of here and not let this lake get overpopulated. And I'm telling Keith, based on what I'm seeing today with all the fish we're catching, we need to take maybe 100 or so out and then see what we got at the end of the day. But I'm thinking several hundred fish need to be taken out here. So we got to do our part. You got to fish a lake to take them out, but that's a big part of the balance.
You got him already. That is so cool. I'm glad you did that.
He knocked my bait off.
That's all right, I liked it. What you got?
Nice one.
Yeah, you got the luckiest thing.
Nice one, look at there. Wish you could catch one like this. I sure do, but you catch a lot of them little 1 pounders, that adds up pretty good. You catch them good eating ones.
Get that little 5-pound fish that you're all excited about.
Don't tip my finger up. Nice.
Nah, he's stupid.
Nice fish.
Oh,
look at him, look at him.
Oh, there he is, big one, giant, giant, giant.
At least a 2-pounder.
Woo! Big fish of the day.
Nice one, nice one.
Uncle Keith Kelly, big one of the day. These fish are so incredibly aggressive, and I don't know that it gets much better.
Oh my goodness.
I have black and blue marks on my arms where every time I catch one of those big guys, I pinch myself to make sure I'm still alive and I'm not in heaven. I mean, this is pretty awesome. It's about as good as it gets. Oh my goodness! Wow! Wow! Big fish of the day!
I don't think I go that far.
Get your camera out for me, buddy. I know you're celebrating with me. Take a picture on no Hank Parker spinnerbait. All right, you got all the pictures you're gonna take? I want another picture of that big dog. Woo! Let's put him in the box, carry him to the Parker farm.
All right, take him, load him up.
Wow! Somehow I don't think he's feeling the love with me.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, go boldly. Looking for more bass fishing tips and techniques from legendary angler Hank Parker? Go to hankparker.com. You'll have full access to all things Hank, including articles, videos, sponsor news, tips, television schedules, and much more.
Come on in there, big boy.
You know, Keith's always trying to hurry up and beat me. And of course, I let him every time I catch a fish on a bait. I give him my rod, my lure. Here, take it. You go ahead. I'll let you catch it. You know, I make it easy on him.
No justice. Now, he caught it over where I made him throw. Now watch him, he'll have some little small coming. Now, what you gonna
And after all of the stuff that I do for him, he pulls out some stupid color, sinking worm.
I'm gonna try one of these little purple ones.
just knock yourself out and be happy.
I mean stupid color, ugly thing, and throws it out there and catches. He says it's the biggest fish of the day. I think it's second or third.
That fish is beautiful.
Can you believe how lucky he is?
I made you throw over there. How you know he's over there? I don't know, Keith. How do I know?
And I don't know what it is that I always do this. And Keith, I know you're watching the show.
Give me a picture of this fish.
Man, no way.
While you messing around, talking around your
I
mouth.
just can't help but let you win. I always let Keith catch the biggest one. I usually let him catch the most. Just my nature. I'm just a giver.
That is a big bass right there. Very undeserving recipient.
That rascal is the luckier. He's luckier than a corn crib rat, as Harold Knight would say.
That's a toad right there now.
But anyway, it is what it is. Sometimes you get lucky and catch a big fish, but it seems like he gets lucky a lot.
Keith, as bad as I hate to admit it, I believe you just caught the big fish of the day and beat my little spinnerbait fish.
Well, they just getting biting though, the big ones.
That fish will weigh 10 at least. That was a 10-pound bass. You like 10-pound bass?
Mm-hmm. I
do
want
too.
12 and 13 better though.
Well, there might be one out here.
I think the old lake's in pretty good shape. What do you think? Golly bum, it is amazing what happens when you do things right. But let me tell you, it looks incredible right now. The big challenge is to get those fish down in numbers where we can keep them growing. It seems like once they get up there 8, 9, 10 pounds, they max out. The only way you can keep those fish growing is to keep taking those fish out. And it's a challenge, and it's hard to get a landowner, a property owner, a pond owner, a lake owner to take 4-pound fish out of his lake. But you got to do it. I promise you, you got to do it. So Keith is really, really open-minded. He's smart. So I think we're going to keep this thing going. I can't wait to go back next year and see what it's going to be like. If we can move those fish from that 8, 9, 10-pound range to that 10, 11, 12, 13-pound range. That's going to be the challenge. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. It was incredible to see how they've grown from 1 year. So I'm very proud of that lake, and can't tell you how much fun I had spending time with Keith. And boy, we caught him on a variety of lures, and he gave me a hard time. I don't know why. I'm so sweet to him. I don't know why he would ever give me a hard time. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks for being with me. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.